There is a Facebook app that allows people to do a little dating. It's known as Are You Interested? And it's very similar to Tinder, where you swipe through a few profiles. If someone seems interesting to you, if you're physically attracted to someone, you let them know that you like them, and then you initiate some sort of conversation. There's some sort of response from the person that you're interested in. Well, there was a study done to see which races respond the most to other races, okay?
Oh boy.
And the results of this one particular study are disastrous. Okay, so let me give you a few examples. First, let's look at women responding to men. Let's put the graphic up. Asian women respond to white men 7.8% of the time. That's the most. Okay, so
they respond to white men more than they respond to Asians, blacks, or Latinos.
Exactly. Black women respond to black men the most. Latino women respond, or Latina women, I should say, respond to white men the most, and white women respond to white men the most.
So let's pause here for a fascinating conversation. All right, number one, we've said many times on this show that you are allowed to be a sexual racist. Mm-hmm. It is allowed by the court, okay? And if you're into whites, blacks, Asians, that's what you're into. It is what it is, and nothing you can do about it. And that doesn't, there's no racial implication there. Mm-hmm. But as you look at that, man, white guys got it good, right? And
dude, I don't understand Latinos.
Everybody's different, right? Everybody's different, and you can't hold it against Anna that she's not into white guys or black guys or whatever. It's not that she's not into them. No. She just likes Latinos better, right?
Yeah, like I would totally look. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, if someone has what I'm looking for, that's all that matters, right? But
I know.
I'm just drawn to a specific kind of look, like tall, dark, handsome, speaks Spanish, likes to go salsa dancing.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that isn't annoying. Now, look, of course, to be fair, they left Turkish out of this mix here. Otherwise, would have won in a landslide every category. We didn't want to embarrass folks.
Okay.
But if you're a Latino guy or an Asian guy looking at this list, you're thinking, I'm not getting much love here, man, and that sucks, right? At least black guys got black women. Yeah. And again, these are as a percentage, and you can see the percentages are small there. So it's not like nobody ever responds. It's just what they prefer the most.
The most, exactly. That's a very good distinction to make. So let's take a look at men responding to women, because those results were also fascinating. Asian men are more likely to respond to Latinas.
That is, I would not have guessed that in a million years. The
surprising.
Other one I would have guessed completely right. This one I wouldn't have guessed right at all.
And by the way, if you look at the percentages for the men responding to women, you can tell that they're more likely to respond in general.
Yeah. It's not like, the 7.8% is because not a lot of women respond to begin with, right?
Exactly.
In the other chart. In here, guys are responding like crazy.
Exactly. Black men are more likely to respond to Asian women.
I wouldn't have guessed that either.
Latinos.
Asian. Didn't guess that either.
That makes me very sad. Whites, Asians.
Would have guessed that completely.
Yeah.
Okay. So there, the black women and white women aren't getting any love. Okay.
Yeah.
So again, of course they are overall, but not getting as much love as others. If you're an Asian woman there, you got to be thinking, sorry. Okay. What now? Yeah. Right. But if you're if you're other kinds of women, it hurts a little bit to see it, but. It's just one study. It doesn't mean it's the end all be all, but it is a fascinating insight into how, the sexes are perceiving each other along with the racial distinction.
Exactly. So now let's look at the more devastating part of this study. Let's look at the lowest response rates.
Ugh.
Okay, so if you look at the women responding to men, Asian women are less likely to respond to black men. Black women are less likely to respond to white men.
Not in my case.
Latinas are less likely to respond to black men, and white women are less likely to respond to black men. So as you can see, the majority of women are least likely to respond to black men.
So again, you can't be a sex racist, but it is discouraging, right? If you're a black guy, that doesn't feel good, right? Mm-hmm. And look, we don't know why they're not responding, and we don't know what happens when they do respond, right? Mm-hmm. So. Anecdotal evidence would indicate that there are many, many women who respond to black dudes. Okay, so I wouldn't overgeneralize on this stuff, But when you look at it in overall, the statistics when they measure this, well, that sucks. You know, if you're a black guy, of course, that doesn't feel good.
So finally, let's look at men responding to women, and here's what we found. Asian men are less likely to respond to black women. Black men are less likely to respond to black women. Latinos are less likely to respond to black women. And white men are less likely to respond to black women.
Oh, that sucks. That one hurts the most. And so if you're looking at that and you're a black woman, you got to be thinking, damn, man, the odds are stacked against me, right? It's not like nobody's going to respond. Of course people are going to respond. I mean, they're men, right? But, you know, your odds are a little worse. And that's why a lot of times when, and this is a phenomenon everybody's familiar with, it doesn't happen every time, but sometimes if black men date other races, black women get really, really mad. Now, looking at these overall statistics, you can see why, right? If there's not a lot of options, and then the black guys are into black women, but if they happen to go date or get married to a white girl or Asian girl, whatever, then that limits your options, and you can see why people get pissed. So it's not the right thing because everybody can date whoever the hell they like, right? And
I think the most interesting part about this was that all of these different races were interested in other races. Like, at least they're a little more open-minded, right? We lived in a society back in the day where, you know, white people only dated white people or only married white people. Same with Asians, same with Latinas or Latinos. So it's nice to know that they're more open-minded toward other races. But, you know, of course that type of negative stereotyping still exists probably, which fuels what we're seeing in this particular study. But again, I think it is important to mention that there are other factors at play.
And look, and let's keep it real for a second too. Look, in the ideal world, you know, if you grow up in the Valley as Anna did, and there's a lot of Latino guys there, you might be more attracted to. That's because I grew up in New Jersey where it was really wide variety, a lot of Asians. So my wife happens to be Asian. These things are not set in stone, but it gives you a propensity, et cetera. And I've dated every race there is, so God bless, and it's been great. I recommend it.